Ultra processed food. Tastes amazing, it's relatively cheap to buy, and causes a lot of problems. Chronic disease, economic destruction, and one of the biggest drivers of climate change. Hi, my name is Finn, and in this video we're going to dive down into the realities of the modern diet. By now the world should know what an ultra processed food is. I'll keep it short and sweet. An ultra processed food is a food-like substance which has been made using industrial style methods and has been made with ingredients you wouldn't find in a normal kitchen. Ultra processed food has been made to be addicting, it's been made to be convenient, and in some cases it's been promoted as healthy or marketed as healthy for you. It involves junk food, so foods like pizza, burgers, chicken nuggets, all that crap. We all know those aren't good for you, but it can also involve foods that you think are good for you, such as granola, cereal bars, yogurts, and many more snacks and convenient options. Now let's dive into these problems. Bad health and chronic disease. It's no coincidence that since these foods have been mass produced in the 1980s, our health has steadily declined in the last 50 years. Chronic disease is at an all-time high. All rates of cardiovascular disease, cancers, and diabetes is all skyrocketing. The modern diet is a prescription for obesity, metabolic problems, and many chronic diseases. 1 in 5 people in the UK will be living with a major illness by 2040. Nutrient deficiencies are extremely common in the UK, vitamins and iron being the staple. 1 in 4 of the adults in the UK are obese. 1 in 4. That's a quarter of our population in the UK. That's just the UK, right? Well, let's look at another country, the USA. 1 in 2 Americans have a chronic disease. 1 in 4 Americans have multiple chronic diseases. Chronic disease is responsible for 7 out of 10 deaths in the US. That's just the Western diet, right? Let's look globally then. Chronic disease accounts for 74% of all deaths globally, dealing with a population level epidemic of insulin resistance. The number of adults living with obesity will rise to 1 billion by 2030. 1 billion. Have I woke you up yet? Ultra processed food makes up 70% of our diets, for some people even 80% or even more. You're 25% more likely to overeat eating ultra processed foods. These foods have been designed to keep you hooked and trick your brain's reward center. They lack proper nutrition and fiber, which will just go straight through your stomach and lead you to overeat more. To mention, most of these are laced with dangerous additives such as emulsifiers, stabilizers, refined sugars, natural flavorings, gums, all the bad things for you. But we're just getting started. Marketing and health halos. It's no secret that UPF causes health problems. You know, foods like pizza and chicken nuggets are unhealthy and poisonous for us. But what if I told you most of the foods you think are healthy are just as bad? Let's take low-fat foods. Fat is an essential macro for the body. We need fat. I'm not going to say this again. Low-fat foods are marketed as healthy, right? But are they? If you remove the fat, which is one of the most satiating parts of the food, and replace it with sweeteners and sugars, you're more likely to overeat and be exposed to additives. Let's look at another example. High protein. Everywhere you look in the store, especially if you're a gym goer, you'll start to notice this. You'll find a high protein sticker on anything nowadays. On shakes, yogurts, granola, even brownies have high protein stickers. Even pizzas have high protein stickers on nowadays, just to promote it as healthy because it's a good gym food and it gets your calories in it. It doesn't matter because your protein's high, right? Yes, they may be high in protein, but they're also high in additives and extra sugars as well. I know, let's have vegetable oil, which lowers your LDL cholesterol, right? But let's not forget this has nothing to do with vegetable oil and is actually hydrogenated bleached seed oils, which has been linked to cardiovascular disease. High fiber foods like cereals, which are actually nutrient deficient, fruit juice, which is high in artificial and added sugars, and the list goes on. All UPF goes through shady marketing, promoting artificial shit as healthy. Kellogg's, the cereal brand, who saw meat as the nemesis, claimed that meat was the main cause of masturbation. What? Most of these companies spend more on promotion and marketing than actually presenting the truth and valid research. Coca-Cola still pushes the narrative that lack of exercise is the main reason for our obesity crisis, and continues to push this narrative on. I'm going to take you back to April 1912, when the Titanic set off on its journey. Have a guess of what food they had on board. Twinkies? Coca-Colas? KFC bargain buckets? No. 40,000 eggs, 30 tons of fresh meat, 36 tons of fresh potatoes, 2,700 kilos of butter, and chronic disease was barely a thing back then. It's really no coincidence, is it? The destruction of the environment and the economy. What if I told you that ultra-processed food is one of the main drivers of climate change? Most green t-shirt bellends will most likely say that cows are the main cause of climate change due to them burping and farting methane all day. Okay, so what about your ultra-processed food factories which run on fossil fuels and actually contribute a bigger carbon footprint? What about all the plastic bottles, cans and packaging from UPF that washes up on our beaches and in our sea? What about the corn crops which take up 70% of the world's water supply, destroys the top soil layer on the ground and actually causes more environmental damage? A cow causes more good for the environment. Cows graze on land to allow the soil to be alive. Insects and ecosystems can thrive in this environment, and cows produce manure which actually makes the soil fertile. Cows actually drink more rainwater from the grass than actually using our water supply. 60 to 70% of the land globally is not suitable for crops. And what about the deforestation from all the processed sugar farmings all around the world? What about all the synthetic chemicals and fertilizers killing bees, rabbits, rodents, snakes, any animal living in the environment, even humans, because these chemicals are so deadly and poisonous for us. Ultra-processed food is poisoning the planet. Ending on chronic disease will reach 47 trillion globally by 2030. 91 of all prescriptions which are filled are for chronic disease. It can cost $500,000 to treat one person for type 2 diabetes over a 40-year period. I'll stop with the maths now. I fucking hate maths. Yes, this food is cheap and convenient, but you're paying for your bills, health bills later on. It's more expensive buying ultra-processed food than nutrient sufficient whole foods, because you're paying for your health later on. Nutrition is the most important factor influencing people's lives. Modern diet is a prescription for obesity and metabolic dysfunction. I hope I've showed you the real cost of what the modern diet can do. Thank you guys so much for watching my latest video. I hope it's helped, and if it has, leave a comment below, and I will see you guys very soon.